that was standing there while the baby was being made and did nothing. You did nothing. You watched her. You watched her because you was scared she was in control of the money. I wouldn't have gave a about that money. I'd have snatched her up and took her to home and made sure she at least got the mental help and counseling that she needed during her pregnancy so that she wouldn't have to regret it for the rest of
Chrisean Rock appears to be now acknowledging that her son's health isn't doing well. But rather than take responsibility for her part, she is accusing Blueface directly. She started ignoring the severe criticism of her parenting. Once her and Junior's medical papers were released to the public, suggesting that her supposed billion-dollar baby may have health problems. Chrisean made even more absurd accusations online, accusing Blueface of groping her again during her pregnancy, rather than accepting responsibility. These startling claims have the internet in a frenzy. Chrisean now blames her son's health issues on the attack and blames her for staying after the violence stopped. However, she isn't getting away with it on the internet. She was out here blowing smoke that may kill him and putting alcohol in her system, while others were pleading with her to protect the unborn child. Throughout her pregnancy, she disregarded every danger sign. Now back on the internet, she blames Blueface for her child's illness, claiming that he assaulted her when she was 7 months pregnant and threatened to bleed your stomach if you tried to get up. "I'm going to murder this baby. It's a very bad charge," Chrisean said. "You're going to be bleeding for a month in a schoolyard." After Blueface struck her with a car when she was expecting, she went all out in her interview with DJ Academics, linking her baby's health issues to Blueface's alleged assault. When Blueface's own mother, Chrisean Rock, expressed her opinions, the issue became more heated. Here he is sitting there just doing the time like it was his problem and his fault. "Not complaining," she said, her anger evident. "We're trying to put him under even greater strain now."
A lot to do with a lot of things. But me not leaving and just staying away, that's...
Chrisean used the fact that Blueface already had 2 successful children to defend her son. She believes Chrisean is the true attacker and attributes the baby's illness to her careless decisions and crazy way of living. Medical professionals and family members voiced concerns, but Chrisean insisted her child was healthy in spite of the warning indications. However, her tale quickly changed after those medical records were made public. Because Blueface mistreated her during her pregnancy, she is now blaming him for everything. Even before the child was born, Chrisean's child's publicity began during a difficult pregnancy. Her many get-togethers, her tumultuous intermittent relationship with Blueface, and her unfavorable encounters with his family were all taking place in public. When she astonished everyone by revealing she was pregnant, sharing numerous positive test results on Instagram, and allowing the drama to unfold in front of millions of people. The story truly took off in 2023. He questioned if the baby was truly Lou. He questioned if the baby was truly his and vehemently rejected it. When Christine suggested that Blueface was the father, he made it apparent that they were no longer together. He even claimed that only a DNA test could establish her involvement in extramarital encounters. When Blueface's mother, Chrisean Rock, joined the fray, the situation only got more bizarre. She proudly declared that she was not pregnant at all when Chrisean claimed to be pregnant. The license of that man would be revoked for permitting such an exercise. The paternity dispute was one of the most contentious plot points during Chrisean's pregnancy. Chrisean's substance abuse became a popular topic on the internet as her pregnancy progressed, and her angry remarks only served to heighten suspicions. Numerous people begged her to stop, but she disregarded their advice. DJ Academics even sent her a FaceTime when she was smoking a joint, feeling nauseous. And all that
I was in the corner of the bed, he was beating my body, and then he like, if you move, your stomach gonna bleed. I'm gonna kill this baby, you're gonna be bleeding for a month. On schoolyard crib. Not a crib. That's not crib. Having sex with your homies, the guy that puts you on, your road manager, road dog, the first one you call, baby mama, that's not crib.
When Christian's sister Tan and her group were called out by Blueface's mother, Clarissa Saffold, on Instagram Live, the situation grew even more chaotic. She claimed that they were aware of and supportive of Chrisean's ongoing drug usage during her pregnancy, and that they remained silent out of fear and a desire to keep the money rather than care about her health. Without holding back, Clarissa stated that she would have intervened right away to ensure Chrisean received the assistance she required if she had been in their position. Chrisean continued using drugs during her pregnancy in spite of several warnings from family members and fans. Shortly after Little Jr. arrived, Blueface was imprisoned for violating his probation, which further exacerbated the tension. However, Christian's decision to have a large Blueface face tattoo shocked everyone. Her elimination of one is not the first time.
Say this nicely. Chrisean need to go sit down somewhere, and she need to get this baby some help. She need to get herself some help. She need to stop engaging with all this internet shit and beef and all this shit and keep back and forth with that boy lying and playing on y'all mind. Cause she ain't never played on mine. I don't pay her no attention. I already know she fucked up in the head. But it's making me mad that this baby can't get down and walk.
Although it was a bold strategy, it failed. Fans harshly criticized her for it. In protest of her ostensibly fatal choices, many people began unfollowing her on social media. Tia Kemp has been one of the most vocal and unreserved critics of Croatian. The two had communicated via internet messaging on several occasions. Instead of concentrating on her obsession with Blueface, Tia came this time to celebrate the birth of Chrisean and offered her parenting tips. "I thought I liked you when you had that little big-faced baby looking like Charles Barkley," she said, mocking Chrisean. "Christian, you ran around beating everyone for 2 years? Become a pebble off the Flintstones. Rocky, get that infant enrolled at daycare so we can learn to crawl and bring Mr. Purpleface along. We are looking for important things to happen. What are you doing? By now, he ought to be carrying a bottle." And Tia didn't stop there. When she recently asked why Sion Jr. hasn't begun to walk or run, her concerns about his development grew.
Bro, stop speaking on me. Go back to clapping those saggy of yours. Just go back to mother, bro. You feel me? All you gotta do is, man, encourage the next mother, pray for the next mother, be there for the next mother. Passing judgment, trying to be funny, like I don't got feelings. You already did this before, Auntie.
Cash was adamant about making Tia Kemp's shot. She responded to Tia's recent remarks, which many admirers believed sounded more like public humiliation than sincere care. After losing her temper, Chrisean reminded Tia that discussing her life online would have been better served by a private phone conversation. In retaliation, she even said, "Go get your son off the streets." However, the drama went on. Following months of denials, the compromised medical records of Chrisean Jr. were made public online, confirming the concerns that many had expressed since the beginning of her pregnancy. The accusations provoked even more social media uproar by implying that Sean's substance usage throughout her pregnancy might have been directly responsible for the child's poor health. Along with several other severe health problems, the publicly available medical data showed exactly what many had feared. Symptoms of fetal alcohol syndrome.
System, and for you weirdos that say I be lying, the only people who lied was her siblings and her friends and associates. Didn't they say the baby was healthy? Charity Ben told you guys his vision was messed up.
According to reports, a difficult pregnancy without appropriate prenatal care and risky cocaine and medication exposure exacerbated CRES Jr.'s illness. The specifics gave a bleak impression of Chrisean's decisions at such a crucial juncture. Additionally, Chrisean hasn't changed her conduct despite her child dealing with these difficult issues and her admirers constantly criticizing her parenting. It sparked a flurry of internet criticism when she was recently seen on camera taking her toddler inside a smoking business. People were unable to believe what they were witnessing. Fans were constantly denouncing Cron after the smoke store incident, which exacerbated the commotion. Why isn't CPS involved? Questions some. I'm terribly sorry for this infant. Some criticized her for just bringing her son into a tobacco shop, stating that she ought to employ a nanny or rely on relatives rather than bringing him. Everywhere she went, one fan even went so far as to chastise the tobacco shop employees personally for letting a child in the first place. Chrisean attempted to explain herself in the midst of the controversy by claiming that she was temporarily blocking her child's internet access. "He's fantastic," she stated in a Danza Project interview, ignoring the criticism. "He's becoming bigger. I've been deliberately keeping him off the internet." However, there was so much evidence that suggested a different picture that her remarks did not calm the outrage. The subject has been the focus of the internet ever since. Chrisean made public those assault claims against Blueface in June 2025, detailing the suffering and anxiety she claimed she had while pregnant. Blueface has yet to respond because he is still being held. But the drama hasn't even slowed down as a result. Although Chrisean's latest defense isn't going as planned, the audience is nevertheless captivated by this turbulent tale. Supporters have been asking harsh questions, such as, "So now she's blaming him for the baby's condition instead of showing sympathy." She was informed by others that all of this was known before. "Before you gave birth, you told everyone about. La, honey, you even declared your intention to shoot a car when Jalen and Blue were inside. This has continued for approximately 4 years. When will it be over?" One admirer even offered a cold summary of it. She would simply run back to him even if he accomplished all of this. Even when it comes to her own family, Chrisean Rock never appears to take responsibility. Despite her denials for months, the stolen medical documents revealed her child's health problems. But rather than confronting the reality, she is now saying that her child is having difficulties because Blue mistreated her when she was pregnant. The fact that she still has a massive tattoo of her son's face all over her body, and that she constantly changes the subject whenever his health is an issue, is precisely for this reason. She also disputes that she was an unreliable mom and a careless pregnant woman. These new claims could put even more strain on their already tense relationship. Because she was expelled from Blueface's house and he just came out of jail. What are your thoughts on Chrisean Rock's refusal too?